Hey YouTube, today I wanted to do a tier list for MSI 2020-25 of all the players and the teams. This MSI is going to be a lot of hype. It's going to be an insane format, all best of fives, and I don't know. I just think it's really awesome that we're going to have MSI. Another international here in North America, which we haven't had since 2022 at Worlds, which was a banger of a Worlds, probably one of the best Worlds ever in the history of lowly sports. So yeah, now this is going to be my first time doing a tier list for players, teams, etc. I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be really fun to do. I've already have a good idea of how I want to do this because I was already playing with it previously, but let me get my thoughts out when I do this one on the video, obviously. But yeah, let's just get with it. So obviously, I want to talk about, let's start with top lane. Actually, top lane, I want to do, obviously, I think it's Keen, number one. Obviously, this guy is a rock. He's super consistent, and honestly, yeah, I don't know. It feels like a lot of people want to say that he is kind of unclutch. I don't want to say he's a choker, per se, but it feels like I don't know. It feels like people make him out to be a player that is incapable of stepping up when he has to in the important moments, which I kind of don't agree with, just because it feels like he understands what his role is, which is to be a rock, right? You have Chovy, you have Ruler, you have Canyon, you have plenty of carries on this team. You don't have to try to be the carry in the top lane, which I think Keen does is probably the best at that in the entire world. So yeah, I think Keen's number one for sure. The next top laner is actually a similar type of top laner. I think it's Flandre. I think actually, hold on. This is how I think I want to sort of organize my players, just because I think it is MSI and it feels like these are the best players from each region, and it feels really unfair to just put somebody in C tier, because then it kind of makes them out to be worse than what they actually are, when I think the competition is a lot closer than what it might be made out to be if we just organize them from 1 through 8. But I mean, it's just another way of organizing it, because I'm still saying that one is still better than the other, so doesn't really matter too much. But I think the next player is, Flandre is the champion of the LPL this time around on AL. I think they're I do think that right now Flandre is the best top laner in the LPL, just because of how he seems to be playing the game solo. It feels like he's also such a rock for the team. It feels like he's never really lagging behind, and he's always doing what he has to do for the team, which I know it seems kind of simple the way that I'm phrasing it, but I think it's super duper difficult to do that consistently at the highest level. So yeah, I think I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on Flandre, and this guy is just such a legend of the LPL. He's been playing for years, and I thought he was done for. I didn't think I was going to ever see him again, at an international. So the fact that he's here is freaking insane. So respect to him. The next player is going to be Bin. I think Bin is the other. I think he deserves to be in top 3. I just think that what he delivers. I think talking about Bin right now, I have to talk about Doran as well. I think Doran, I think he's right behind, just because I feel like his level is just way too varied. It feels like the way that he plays is just so unreliable. I can't honestly say that he is better than any of the other top 3 players or top laners that I put on this list. I just can't. How do I say that this guy is better than Bin right now? How do I say that he's better than Flandre right now, considering what they demonstrated throughout the split? That seems so insane to me. And obviously Keen is Keen. I don't know. I think Bin, the thing about Bin is that I feel like a part of me thinks that he should be the best top laner right here above Keen, but I think the way that he's approaching the game right now, it's just it feels like he's struggling to really adapt his play style, because it feels like I don't know. It just feels like what he's trying to do isn't really effective. And it just sucks. Also, it feels like the meta just isn't really suiting him right now. Especially because I did see that he's been playing a lot of Rumble, which I don't think he's necessarily a bad Rumble. I just don't think that he's capable of, it's not reliable. I think that's a really key thing this tournament with top laners is how reliable they are. Like, the more reliable you are, I think the better your team is going to be better off. Like, that is just how it is. So, yeah, I think Ben is Ben. I think he has the highest ceiling out of the entire tournament for all the top laners, but I think he's still like kind of unreliable. So I guess we'll end up seeing what type of bin we're going to end up seeing at this MSI. So yeah, the next one is going to be Doran. I already talked about him, really. I think that's all we have to say. The Krug Lord himself. I think he just needs to really lock in and stop being so maybe down on himself, or I don't know, get his motions and like get it together. And I know it's really difficult to ask, especially when you're on T1, the most prestigious org in all of LoL esports. Like, that's a lot, especially for this type of player. But the fact that he was able to show up when it mattered versus HLE, there's some hope, that he's gonna be able to show up at this international tournament. So yeah, definitely, I definitely think he can compete with anybody here. I just think that I don't know, Doran is just is he gonna show up, or is it just gonna be another classic flash over the wall on Aatrox type of play? Is that what we're gonna get from Doran? But yeah, I think the next top laner I want to put on this list is probably Broken Blade. I think that I know that he got monster gapped by Kana. I do think that he also got gapped by Mirwin in the finals. But I think that during those finals, I want to say that I think that he was struggling to make something happen during the series. Like, it felt like he was very rushed. Like, he was desperate to make something happen and play, a lot more risk, with more risk, just because his team was kind of collapsing. I think his jungle support were just non-existent. So I think he was definitely trying to make something happen, and it just did not work. So I don't know. I think that this might be really, really controversial to put Broken Blade here after what happened in the finals, but I just feel like he has historically stepped up, especially in international, the past couple of years, and I think he deserved the respect, to be honest. I think if Kana or Thanatos were here at this tournament, I would put them here over Broken Blade. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. But since they're not, we're gonna have to put Broken Blade here. I think the top lanes from the West aren't really a threat, or they're like really unreliable this year, I would say, more than anything else. So yeah, the next top laner, speaking of unreliability, I think is Bwipo. I think real wild card is where I'm putting him, just because I like these players right here in this category are like like it's called a wild card. Like, these guys can punch up and definitely make some real damage, but do I necessarily like rely upon it? I kind of don't. I think it's a lot less reliable than the players who I'm going to be putting in top 5 and higher. So yeah, I think Bwipo is. He feels like a noob stomper, like he will definitely like just stomp on anybody who is worse than him. But like he will definitely like players of equal skill. It feels like he will like his risky play tendencies get a lot more punished, and so he ends up looking really, really bad a lot more times than one would like. So hopefully Bwipo doesn't do too many, he isn't too wide during this tournament, but I guess we'll see. The next player is going to be Mirwin. I think I can see a lot of Koi fans saying, why the hell is Mirwin below Broken Blade? Why is Broken Blade here when Mirwin was gapping the hell out of Broken Blade during the finals? I think that it's valid to be mad at that reasoning with that logic, but like at the same time, we have to take into consideration that I didn't value like the way Mirwin plays. It feels kind of Whippo-esque in terms of the way that he likes to abuse range, like he likes to abuse lane, but like if he's not capable of abusing lane, it feels like he kind of falls off a bit, or is capable of he struggles to stay relevant in the game if he's not that type of if he isn't capable of steamrolling during lane. But I don't know, I think putting him here with names like Whippo and Broken Blade, I think is really insane, especially because this is his second year. Like, we have to take into consideration this is Mirwin's second year, and we are putting him up with names like Whippo and Broken Blade. So yeah, I think that it has to say a lot about Mirwin's level up. And I don't know, I think that I don't think players or fans should be too upset with this. I think the fact that we're even considering putting up any higher is really good. So hopefully he's capable of leveling up during this tournament and showing his worth. So yeah, the next top laner that I want to put up here is probably Driver. I think Driver. Probably Driver. I think Driver's really good. I think he's a really solid top laner. I think he's just I think he has his strengths, but his obvious weaknesses. And I haven't seen much of CFO, to be fair, but like I've already seen enough. Like I don't think he's capable of overpowering the top laners above him, but I don't think he's necessarily gonna like be a necessary weakness against these other top laners. I think he will do just fine. The other top laner that I also want to call out is Kiaya. I think Kiaya low-key over Driver. Just because I think that this guy is just really special, honestly, and part of me thinks he should have been imported to the West on a top-tier team and see if they could make the most out of him. Just because I think that his ceiling is really high, and I don't know. I respect Kiaya. Honestly, low-key, sometimes he feels like the best player out of the minor regions, per se. So, yeah. The next top laner on this list is who else? I guess it's just Guigo now. Let me add another one. Okay, so this player I've seen for the last maybe couple years now, and every time I watch him, I think he's a lot of fun to watch, but I find it hard to, he's not quite at the level of the other players, and a part of me hopes that he's capable of punching up and getting to this level of like Kiaya and Driver, but like I just it's hard to see him getting to that level now, which it kind of sucks. It's so sad. Listen, we're gonna be rooting for Guigo. By the way, I want to shout out Furia in general. This team has been so much fun to follow. Once I heard that Tatu was gonna be on this team, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be cheering for this team just because I was really impressed with Tatu. I know we haven't gotten to that position yet. It's the next one, but like, massive shout out to this Furia team. It's really cool seeing them play. I think they're a lot of fun, and it's gonna suck that they're probably going to get just steamrolled at this tournament, sadly. So yeah, and yeah, let's go with the next role. I think jungle best is maybe Canyon, maybe Owner, or maybe it's just Tarzan. This one's really hard. I think all three of these players, you can make an argument for number one. I am not even kidding. I think Owner, the way that he plays the map, the way he's able to carry a map is insane. I think the way that Canyon is. I think Canyon is just Canyon. Like, I don't. Do I even really want to analyze his gameplay? Like, I think his mechanics are top tier. The way that he just. Like, the way that he's capable of playing anything. And the same thing could be said about Tarzan. Like, these three are insane. Like, they are the best of the best right now, I think. And any of these, like, players can, like, outdo the other any given day, in my opinion. Like, I think Tarzan can best Canyon and Owner. Owner can best Tarzan and Canyon. I think vice versa. All these three players, insane respect. But right now, I gotta give my respect to Tarzan. I think Tarzan, this last split was so insane. Like, that Zed game during the finals was crazy. I loved watching that game. This guy on Zed was just, it was montage, just level of like insanity. I like legitimately, what was that, you know? I remember I was watching who was I watching? I think it was Cadril stream, and on the Chinese broadcast they were like, the Chinese casters were like, what was that, you know? Obviously a reference to the meme of Faker Zed. It was great. It was great watching that. What a fun series to watch. But yeah, Canyon, Owner, I think the other top three top laner or junglers, like, these guys are all insane. I think Owner is probably the best player on T1. I think Canyon is also, I mean, he's Canyon. Like I already said, so like I'm just gonna move on. Like, there's nothing more for me to say. I think the next, I think there's a bit of a drop off to the next player, to be honest, just because the top three are just that insane. But I think the next top laner is definitely, or jungler is Inspired. I think Inspired is coming into the tournament as the best Western player. I think Inspired deserves all the respect that he gets, or that he deserves. Like, he's so freaking good. He's so reliable. He's so, like, diverse in his gameplay. It feels like he's always had this stigma of being a farmer and not really being, like, he's kind of a one-trick play style type of player, but he's not that type of player, honestly. He can play the early game, he can play tanks, he can play you know, anything. He can play anything. So and the amount of reliability that this player has is just so insane. So yeah, top 4 for sure. The next jungler that I want to put in here is Elyoya. I think it's crazy that this tournament is gonna have the level of junglers that it has. I think Elyoya right now, I think a lot of people should start talking about how this guy is probably the best jungler of the 2020s in EU. I think he's won the LEC on a team that isn't, he's consistently the one jungler that is one who isn't on either Fnatic or G2, especially G2, right? Like, Yike is obviously the other jungler to call out, but I think the fact that Yike has been playing with Caps and Broken Blade, the best, obvious, like, genuinely the best, other best players in their role, is I don't, it's sad to knock him down for that, but like, I just can't help but, like, just support Elyoya considering what he's playing with. Like, the players, you know, on paper, you know, like, it's so insane. I think he just deserves all the respect, like, that like, this guy is so freaking good. Best jungler in EU. Like, I don't know. Like, we're talking about Razork, we're talking about Yike, we're talking about Skewmont, like even Sheo at times. But I think Elyoya is him. So the next jungler to go on this list is probably probably Jinjia. I think it's Jinjia. Jinjia is consistently been the best jungler within the his region. I think he is always going to be a threat. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. The last, obviously during first stand, I think he definitely showed up. So he deserves his respect as a real wild card. I think the other jungler to go on this list should be Beichuan. I think Beichuan, it's crazy that the other LPL jungler to be coming into this tournament is going to be not. He's actually, I think he's worse than Inspired and Elyoya, some of the other Western junglers, which is very rare to see. Like, and I like Beichuan. I like Beichuan when he was on middle of the table teams, but he was never like that guy. He's kind of a meme, to be honest. But the fact that he's going on now on BLG and coming up to an international is kind of crazy. But yeah, I yeah. All right, the next jungler you probably want to put on here is Levi. Levi is, I think he's good. I don't think he's quite on the same level as the other junglers, but I think he deserves to be put here on good. I don't want to talk too much about him. He kind of does his thing. He's good at doing his thing. He's kind of clutch, and you shouldn't. He's never a player to be just underestimated. So yeah. I think being good is it's all right. I think the other jungler I want to put on good actually is Skewmon. Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but I think Skewmon, Tatu. I think Tatu's so freaking good. I like Skewmon. It kind of sucks because he's a rookie, right? Like, this was his rookie year. And like, he's already like really, really good, but I don't see him as at the same level as the other junglers. And Tatu this guy is a real freaking talent, like a prodigy of Brazil. So the fact that he's gonna be put up together with this other guy, I think I don't know. Listen, Skewmon, he's cool. But like, I've been a little bit disappointed in the way that he's been playing, but like I said, he's a rookie. So, we've seen him pop off before. So he can definitely, like, in a year, I can definitely see people talking about him as the best jungler in the West. Like, I definitely think he has that capability. So, yeah. I think he's a rookie, so just let him do his thing, let him grow. Tatu, same thing. I think Tatu is so freaking good. Like, if somebody in NA decided to import Tatu to one of the teams, I wouldn't hate it, to be honest, just because I think Tatu is he's so freaking good, man. I was really impressed with him in the Challengers, like international, like Challengers tournament for Tier 2 that we had last year. Like, this guy was so freaking, he was kind of gapping, like, NA junglers. Like, it was so freaking cool to just watch him play. So, and he's kind of fearless too, like, just crazy fun to watch him play. So I think these three, put him here at you can put him like any order, honestly, like this, sure. And yeah, I think I don't know, junglers at this tournament are so good. Next role is mid lane. Mid lane, obviously Chovy. Do we really have to talk about Chovy? Like, Chovy is the best player at this tournament. Best player in the world, and I don't want to hear anybody talk about how that's not the case, because, like, you're just a hater at that point. Second best mid laner at this tournament is Shanks. I think honestly, it is Shanks. I think it's Shanks. I think the way this guy is just out here freaking, he's gapping Knight in finals, which not a lot of mid laners will ever be able to say. I think I've been a fan of him since WE, and the fact that he's popping off now is so cool to watch. I think his story is really, really awesome to have seen, and I think I really hope he pops off at this MSI. Maybe not against FlyQuest, please. Don't do that. Yeah. The other mid laner to put here. Do I put in Faker? Do I put in Faker or do I put in Knight? Like, that's the real question. I feel like Knight still has more output than Faker, but I think Faker is Faker, you know? Honestly, F it. We're gonna put him here for the clicks, for the hate, for somebody to just start writing a whole paragraph as to how I'm just a hater. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that. Think of it as you will. No, but honestly, I think you can make an argument for either or, to be honest. You can put Knight here or Faker here. Honestly, they're both kind of faulty, to be honest. Like, I think Faker's the type of player that will be I mean, he's clutch, right? Like, that's his big thing, is that he's probably the most clutch player in the history of this game, which is why he's won so much, like, internationals or like worlds. So yeah, I don't know. Listen, Faker is the GOAT. Doesn't matter. Put him there. He's top 5. No argument. World class. It's, yeah. I'm just gonna move on. The next player I want to put on here is probably Caps, or it's probably Quad. And to be honest, I know a lot of people might be triggered by this, but I think I'm gonna put Quad here, just because I think that his base level is much higher. I guess the other player people would take into consideration is JoJo. I love JoJo. Obviously, I'm an NA fan. I've been watching JoJo actually since EG Academy days. Yeah, since he was in tier 2, I've been watching JoJo. And so I don't want to hear people calling me a hater, because I've been watching this guy for way longer than probably 99% of you. So yeah. I think I'm gonna put Quad here, just because I think he, like I said, for my top laners, he's the most reliable out of these 3. I think Caps obviously is Caps. He can become Claps or he can become Craps. Like, that's just facts. I didn't even mean to rhyme there. I just did. But yeah, I think Quad is super reliable. Like, this guy is just super diverse in his gameplay as well. Like, his champion pool, like, he can pretty much play anything. And so yeah, I think Caps feels a little bit more restricted in what he can play. But he still has the capability of popping off, you know, versus like almost any other mid laner. But it's not as reliable. And sometimes, like I said, he just has a really crappy, you know, game, and I just cannot for the life of me say that, oh, you're a player that's capable of being really good or really bad. And the same thing could be said about JoJo. Oh, JoJo, but like JoJo is a more extreme version of Caps, in my opinion. Either he smurfs out of his mind or he completely runs it down. It's so crazy to me. I love JoJo though, so we're gonna put him there. I still think that laning wise, I don't think these guys would get outclassed by any of the other mid laners, maybe except Chovy. But Chovy's an anomaly, so we don't talk about him. The next mid laner I want to call out is Honkyu. I completely forgot about this guy. This guy is a freaking phenom. 17-year-old freaking mid laner, comes out of nowhere, just is a phenom. Like, this guy, I've heard that he's actually hasn't been the best mid laner in his region, but I still like the fact that he's capable. I just think that it makes sense that he doesn't come off as the best player, just because of his probably like rookie like tendencies. But in terms of just like capability, his ceiling is insane. I think this guy's ceiling is so insane, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the LPL, like JDG Honkyu incoming. You know, that's like Honkyu is just. I'd be a little surprised if an LPL team doesn't pick him up. Who's next? Probably Emo. Emo is good. he was also like he's also really young, but I don't think he's the same as Honkyu. Yeah, I just think he's a really really good player, and he shouldn't be a player to be underestimated. I think that's the real like narrative about GAM esports in general, is that they're just generally a good team, but like they're not reliably good. They're just a really crazy like team who is fearless and just will. If you underestimate them, you're probably gonna get punished for it. So, yeah. The other mid laner on this tournament is what's his name? Toots. I wasn't impressed with Toots. I need to get another role here, like row below. Fun memories. Yep. He's going to have some fun memories. That's what he's doing here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, I watched Toots, but I don't think it was bad per se. I just don't think he was like, he was kind of forgettable. Like, I'm sorry, but like you have a player like Tatu, Guigo, and Ayu on your team. I'm sorry, but like you're not impressing me. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, Toots fans. It's just how it is. Listen, we got to move on. All right, next role is the ADC. Best ADC at this tournament. Oof. It's a bit hard just because I feel like some of the ADCs from the East aren't at their best level, like relative to what I've seen from them. Do I think this is the highest level I've ever seen from them? No. And the best example right now is probably Ruler and Gumayushi. I think Ruler and Gumayushi have shown very clear weaknesses, but at the same time, it feels like their base level is and their like ceiling is so insane that it just feels difficult to not put them in top 2. You know, like who do I value more? I value Ruler more. I'm gonna be honest. I love Ruler. This is complete bias, by the way. I think Ruler. I've been a fan of Ruler for like so long, and I'm never gonna doubt this guy. This guy is insane. This guy's my goat, my goat ADC. Like it is what it is. I'm sorry. T1 fans, please don't kill me. Gumayushi. I've had my reservations, especially this year. But listen. He does his thing, and he's super effective, and that's what counts, okay? He does his thing, very effective, and it is what it is, okay? Next, I think Hope, right? I think that the next ADC, I think Hope is a player who I always thought had really good mechanics. And that's the thing about, LPL ADCs is that they always have really, really insane mechanics. Like if you look at Jackie Love, like these guys have insane mechanics. But like, is it super duper reliable? No. Like, will they hint? Yeah, kind of, because they're trying to like output as much damage as they can. Like, I don't know. I was super like impressed with Hope, and I just want to put him here. I think Elk has. I still believe in Elk, but I think Elk has been like not at the same level that he's used to. Can he reach, best of the best level? I think he can. Yeah. But right now, I can't say that for sure. So he's gonna have to go here. Yeah. And so the next ADC that goes here, to me, it is very obvious. It's Masu. I think Masu. I've seen some tier lists where it feels like they're putting Supa or Hans as the best Western ADC, which in my opinion is effing crazy. That's the conversation, man. I listen, Supa is the only other ADC that I can see people making an argument for. But I think in terms of ceiling, I think Masu Like, to me, it is very clear that this guy knows how to fucking click. Okay, he clicks. Okay, this guy knows how to press him. Like, I just think his mechanics are so freaking good. And listen, my respect to Supa. I think I was very surprised with his level up. I thought this guy was gonna get freaking gat by Callista again, but no, he stepped up. So, hell yeah, I'm gonna put him there. This is how I view things, and I refuse to make an argument. I just don't want to hear it. Listen, Supa, I like you, but I think Masu just has the ceiling to be really insane. So, the next ADC is probably, it's Hans. I think Hans is overrated. Hans is overrated. I don't know what it is with this player, but it feels like every time that it's his turn to carry or he needs to step up, he doesn't do that. And the fact that G2 got rid of Mickey X and not Hans is effing crazy to me. What the hell, man? G2 is smoking, bro. Like, they're smoking something crazy. I don't know. Listen, Hans is obviously good, but he is not the type of player that is gonna push you to the next level. That is what I honestly think. Like, he's dangerous within his own right, but like, it's just like, I just haven't seen him really pushing the bar and saying, listen, G2 or EU, I am the player that's gonna make the difference. Okay, like, I've never seen him really close the gap between himself and other Eastern ADCs. So yeah, that's just the unfortunate reality. So yeah, the next player, yeah, I know I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I don't care. I'm a Hans hater. It is what it is. The next ADC I want to shout out is probably Doggo. I think Doggo's good. And Ayu. Where's Ayu? I think Doggo, obviously he was in the LPL, but it felt like it was always his team that was really, really garbage. And it wasn't necessarily him. It felt like he was always like one of the better players on his teams. And I don't know. It feels like he is good. Like, I haven't had an actual reason not to put him any lower, I guess is what it really is. And I think Ayu, I was very impressed. I watched this guy during the finals of Brazil. I think I was super impressed. Like, this guy was just pulled out the Yasuo and just kind of smurfed. I don't know. Mechanics wise, I think IU can even go higher. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I think IU is a real prospect, and he's the type of player I'd actually want to see in NA be imported. Listen, Fury at Brazil fans, like, bro, him and Seos, tell me that wouldn't be a good bot lane, please. Like, tell me that it's not like, damn, the dream team. But yeah, yeah. Any other ADCs? No, I'm not missing anything else. Okay, and last but not least, supports. F the supports. True. I'm kidding. Best is Kyria. Kyria is the type of player that every year or every split, you're like, you know what? These other support players, they look better than Kyria. It felt like they were more consistent than Kyria. But then Kyria just has this magic to him, right? He just is capable of really stepping into this other layer of support. Like, he creates a whole other layer to what a support player can do. And that is what differentiates Kyria from literally every other support in the world. So Kyria deserves to be here. Mickey X over Kyria, by the way. Ain't no way. to those that know, Cadril, yeah, that's crazy, man. How are we gonna put Mickey X over Kyria? I will never ever understand that logic. By the way, the insane EU bias. Like, listen, I love Cadril, but damn, that's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on. The next support player I want to put here is probably Kale and Duro. Those are probably the top three, without a doubt in my mind. I think KL was a player. It's crazy that these two support players were both on Sandbox. And I don't know, Sandbox, maybe they just know how to find support players, bro. Maybe that's what it is. Right now they have Kellen, and I think Kellen's like, I think he got better on that team. I don't know, maybe they just have a really like great like coach support. I don't know anything about their coaching staff. Maybe they just know how to coach supports, man. I don't know. But yeah, I think these two players. Also, speaking of Fear X, I think their challenger support, I think his name is Career. I think that guy's good too. I think that guy is really good too. So I just shouting that out right now, by the way. Kind of random, but I guess we'll see in the future. Come back to this moment, and be aware that I called it out first before all these other big names do it. Anyways, the other support, top four, I think it is On. I think it's still On. I think On is super consistent. I think a lot of the lows that he's experienced is because of his team. But I just think the output from the top three just can't be denied. So do I think On is necessarily a worse player than the other guys? Not necessarily. I think On is still clearly capable of challenging, but I think the level that the other support players have been able to demonstrate is just undeniable. So yeah. Other support that I'm gonna put here, I've seen a lot of people say Alvaro, even Alvaro over On, but I think that Alvaro's not it, or like he's not top 5. I think it's Busio. I think Busio has higher ceiling. I think his mechanics are better. I think the way that he plays the map is better. I think the thing about Alvaro that I will say is better than Busio, it's his early game. I think the way that he connects with El Yoya is better than Busio. The way that he connects with his jungler, it's just better than Busio. But I think Busio, just in terms of playmaking, I don't think that he gets outclassed by Alvaro. But I think the fact that, because Alvaro popped off so hard, and like, listen, we have to take into consideration that Alvaro was playing against freaking Lebrov. Are we serious? Lebrov? I don't like. I think Lebrov is not it, man. Busio was out here playing against Vulcan. I think, by the way, Vulcan is just a better version of Lebrov. He's just a better version of Lebrov, by the way. And I think that he's playing against Core JJ. Like, what? And Seos. What? We're out here making arguments for Alvaro best in the West when he's out here freaking playing against freaking nobodies except Mickey X. I respect Mickey X. But yeah. Like, bro, get out of here, man. Listen, I think Alvaro's still really good. I do think he's still really good. I just think Busio is better in lane. He's better, like, in other aspects than Alvaro. And like I said, I think Alvaro's maybe team play might be a bit better, or like the way that he leads a play might be better than Busio. But that's it. I don't know. Feel free to flame me in the comment section. Man, you know who I forgot for ADC? I forgot Artemis. I think Do I want to see he's good? I don't know. It feels like he's kind of. I think he's okay. Like, fun memories. I think Artemis isn't bad. I just think the other guys are just way better. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk too much about it. I didn't even watch that much GAM, so listen, forgive me, okay? Other support, I think the next in line is Kai Wing. I think Kai Wing is always gonna deserve my respect. I think before I used to write him off, but then I don't know. Every time I see this guy play, it always feels like he's super like he's always gonna make some random play, and you're gonna be like, damn, that's an Eastern support, man. You know. It's, I don't know, Kai Wing deserves respect, man, and the fact that he doesn't from some of these other like big names, like I haven't seen him on other like big name tier lists, and it just feels weird. I don't know, people just don't want to write like they don't want to admit that CFO is better players than their region, you know, like it's sad. But yeah, Labrov, I think he's goodish. Fun memories. I don't like Labrov. I don't think Labrov is man, I think he's good domestically. I just don't think he's it, you know? He just isn't the type of player that's ever gonna really push to the next level, you know? Like he's never gonna be really a real threat. And Jojo here, just whatever, man. Like these players rest. I think you play driver more often than rest for valid reasons. I just think, yeah. I don't know. I'm not the biggest rest fan. I don't think he's bad, but yeah. Who are some of these other, like, what? Elio? Oh, Elio's the support. I don't care. I don't really care. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care. I don't really care about these players. Yeah. Yeah. So this would be my tier list. Best team at MSI: Keen, Tarzan, Chovy, Ruler, Carrier. Damn, that would be an insane team. What the hell? And yeah. This is how I think the players stack up against each other, to be honest. Actually, yeah, I think I like it. You could say Kai Wing. Is Alvaro better than Kai Wing? Maybe. I don't think Kai Wing's to be disrespected, but I can see the argument that Kai Wing is just a tier below than the other guys. So yeah. Why not? As for teams, do I want to make something for the teams now? I think it's kind of obvious, to be honest. I'm not gonna do that actually. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I don't know if I was able to make my points clear. It is my first time doing this type of thing. So forgive me if I'm not at that level. But yeah, listen, if you guys want to flame me, try to be as nice about it as possible. Please and thank you. That is all. I'm excited for MSI. It's gonna be cinema. It's gonna be insane. I am gonna have so much fun watching it, and maybe I'll end up making like you know, not analysis videos, but like my reactions to it, perhaps. But we'll see. We'll see. Please like and subscribe. That'd be nice. That'd be cool. See if we could make something happen on this channel. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.